So welcome back to the continuing saga of school food evidence. As you may remember from a previous video in this series, Mr Gove, the Secretary of State for Education, recently announced in Parliament that he was planning a new initiative on school food. This week we discovered what Mr Gove was referring to. On the 4th of July 2012, Mr Gove announced an independent review of food in schools. He has appointed Henry Dimbleby and John Vincent of Leon Restaurants to lead the review. Quoting from the DfE website, the aim of the review is to produce a practical action plan that will set out what needs to be done to accelerate the inspiring work done by Jamie Oliver and others to ensure that children eating in English schools are offered good food and given an education that cultivates in them an understanding of food and nutrition. The review will not report until 2013. The DfE's produced a video about the review. It's on YouTube. Last time I looked, it had 280 views, which seems a little low for such an important issue. And 1 thumbs down, which could have been anyone. It's worth pointing out there's no reason to doubt the sincerity of these gentlemen. This is inevitably a controversial area, of which more soon. Henry Dimbleby and John Vincent are the co-founders of Leon restaurant chain. They have 11 restaurants in London, 1 in Bluewater, Kent, and 1 at Terminal 3 at Heathrow Airport. They certainly appear to produce very nutritious food, and I'm sure it's very delicious for people in London, and who can afford it, it has to be said. The website has information and nutritional contents of their meals, such as, for example, their porridge of the gods. They also serve a yoghurt of the gods, which again contains Montezuma chocolate flakes. As you may recall, Montezuma was one of a number of Aztec kings, leaders of a culture that achieved great heights, but is probably best remembered for allegedly ripping the hearts out of its enemies. But I digress. As far as I can tell, the Leon restaurants are not signed up to another one of the coalition's flagship public health policies, that is the Public Health Responsibility Deal. This may well be, of course, because they already meet or even exceed the guidelines. For more on the PHRD, see the Marmot Report 2 years on video. Okay, back to the review. The review's terms of reference can be found at the DfE website and are downloadable as a Word document. There are 2 basic questions it was set up to address. How will we get children eating well in school? And how can we excite children about food and nutrition? In order to achieve this, they plan to liaise with a range of bodies to elicit answers to these questions. As with everything in this area, it's a controversial issue, so there's no pressure to guessing who we're going to go to next. Yep, it's Jamie, and here are a couple of reports from The Guardian and The Independent. The latter's Chef Wars perhaps isn't the most helpful headline. This isn't about personalities but evidence. As well as Jamie, The Guardian also quotes comments from spokespersons from the Association of Teachers and Lecturers and the Local Authorities Catering Association. Neither are complimentary about the review, but this is of course journalism, so the view of the newspaper may be influencing the choice of commentators here. Jimmy's own response to the web review can be found on his own website. He's very fair about Mr Dimbleby and Mr Vincent, and no one should doubt their sincerity. I certainly don't. His comments about the report just delaying action are of course for you to judge. Jamie's comments on the need for sustainable policies in this area may resonate with many people, especially since this was what the School Foods Trust was set up to do. Okay, I should mention that the School Foods Trust has welcomed the review. It's a quote from their news pages. We agreed with the government a long time ago that the sensible time to launch a review was following our completion of our study of food in secondary schools. In assessing the progress that has been made, the key thing here is deciding how to best help our schools and caterers keep that progress going. Okay, the reports referred to include those about the declining quality of meals in academy schools, it has to be said. As of the 1st of July 2012, there are now 1,957 academies open in England, When one of the early videos in this series was published in April, there were 1,500 academies in England. The DfE website includes a spreadsheet of schools with academy status, which is very useful. It'd be nice if it also included data we could use for mapping, but we can't have everything. So there we are. As ever, it's up to you to weigh the evidence and draw your own conclusions. Thanks for listening.